Hey everybody, this is Diamond Sarah Harnish, and I'm sorry I'm so late. You guys took my page down. I've been trying to get on for almost a half an hour now, and it will not let me anywhere near my page. It's pretty crazy. So I had to do this old-fashioned style. I want to show you, it's completely crashed everything. See, I got no screen there, and it's even telling me that Zoom wants to expand my reach to 40 countries because you guys took the whole page down. So I'm actually on right now old-fashioned style on a cell phone, not using any of the technology that I have. Hey, you have a history of doing this, so this is not old hat. I mean, if you remember when we released Gameplan 3 years ago, you guys crashed the entire Amazon website. I actually got a notification from them. They were not happy with me because you took the whole site down. And then you took down USPS's site because of the tens of thousands of people trying to order at the same time on one page. And then you took my website down also. So all I did was put a post up about the next book that's coming, and you guys went berserk. So I think that's really funny. I mean, it's not really funny because now we're late starting boot camp, but I'm really sorry about that. But oh my word, it's crazy. I've been trying to get on for half an hour, and I haven't been able to. So no, you guys are amazing. I'm not amazing. I love you guys. So if you missed the news, it's a pretty big deal tonight. I'm pretty stoked. You'll laugh at me because I literally decided last night, I'm like, you know what? I've been working on this thing since 2 weeks after I got my starter kit. I should just release it. It would be a huge blessing right now, especially with, the absence of the ref guides and just not a lot of material to give to new people. This would really be a blessing to a lot of people. And so we made the decision. I wrote our entire publishing team and said, hey, how fast can we get this finished? It's in the final editing stages. And everybody was like, it's a go. We can do it. We can do it. So we have an amazing, amazing editing team behind the scenes. So if all goes well, please don't quote me, but if all goes well, we could probably put up a pre-sale on Friday. So that's my hope. We're finalizing the book right now. So this is the first cover. I had you guys vote on this one, the Gameplan Oil script book. So it's gonna have 25 different scripts. I'm just getting nailed with people right now. It's gonna have 25 different scripts, 2 bonus scripts, 7 quick guides, and it's just gonna be absolutely, totally amazing. So the other, I wanna show you guys, we have another cover. We got 300, see, this is why there's 350 comments in a couple of minutes. So let me grab the other design. I had it up, but it crashed. So let's see, this is at 8:28 p.m. So here we go. This is the other one. And we're still playing with this. I'd like to get some pinks and purples and stuff on there. We wanted to make it a little more guy-y so that guys were comfortable carrying the book around and it didn't look all flowery and princessy and all of that. So I could message you so I pop up and I'm famous. Nicole, you're always famous to me, girl. Always. So this is what it looks like. And basically I had a big meeting with our publishing team today, and we're going to print one like Gameplan. So it's going to be like this, and this is designed for product users, and you can send it to a brand new product user. And this is everything really that I learned my first 5 years of oiling. But it's totally compliant. There's nothing in here that's going to get you roasted. And then there's going to be a second version where we are going to ship you basically the pages and dividers for each of the scripts and a binder. And you're going to be able to put it in a binder format with its own cover and everything for it, so that it will lay flat and the print is a little bit larger for you guys so you can teach. So you'll have some you can give to your product users, and you'll have some that you can give to your business builders, which I'm really excited about. We wanted to print this in 2 different versions so that you guys had it, because it's really for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're a product user or whether you are a business builder. It's going to be a huge blessing to all the people in Young Living. So the script's in here, and then I'll jump into boot camp. I'm just so excited about this. Obviously, 101 Oils, 102 Thieves, 103 Nation, 104 CBD. You guys have seen those come. And matter of fact, we're almost done with the kids class right now. I've been working on that one for 2 months. I got all of this done, and then they released new starter kits. So, but I just got one of the previews on the new starter kit. What do you guys think of this one for our kids class PowerPoint? This is the premium starter kit. See with the kids oils, isn't that cute? Yeah, I'm gonna play it for you again. Yeah, so this is some of the PowerPoint with the kids' oils that we've been working on. They're all professionally designed. They look so good. Anyway, but we'll have the kids' class. We got Fearless, how to play with your oils, and that's the whole why behind why we do what we do. Oils to the Bible. That one I just taught. We had 50,000 people on that class. That was crazy. Raindrop class. I have never written a raindrop class in class format before, and this is something that's very near and dear to my heart because I use it probably more than any other technique out there. I'm very, very close with the Stewart family and Anthony and David that just passed away. I have deep respect for their family. So I'm putting that class together in a way that really honors them and promotes the Care School because I believe very deeply in that. And I love the training that David did with Gary Young and carrying his legacy. So Feelings Kit class, we got a gut health class, and my husband's like, well, Sarah, that doesn't make any sense. Why do you have a gut health class? Well, let me tell you why I have a gut health class in the middle of an oils book. I think that might be the easiest thing to do would just be to just share with you why I think that's so important. Because it really is why I do what I do. And you know, if you're reading my stuff, you're going to get a little bit of me in it. So let me just tell you the open to the book here. Would you guys like to hear the beginning of it? It's a letter to you, and I'll just read it out loud to you, but I'm going to read it right off my screen. I got my Young Living Starter Kit on my birthday, June 27th, 2014, and I thought that all oils were hogwash. I'm just shooting straight with you guys. I really thought it was a joke. But I got the kit just because I was curious about them, and within a week of the box dropping on my doorstep, I'd already seen oils help our family over 80 times. 80 times. And I knew that I would be telling people about Young Living for the rest of my life. Whether I got paid for it or not, I was going to talk about it forever. The trouble is how. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was doing. And I'd only had my kit for days. So I sat down with the reference guide and the catalog that came with my kit, and I looked up every single oil, and I looked up what it did, and I looked how it could help my family. And then I scribbled on my catalog to my husband next to every single oil, and I handed it to him, and he said, I knew it. When we got that kit, we opened Pandora's box, and now the lid is never going to close on the box, never. You're going to want all the oils. And I said, nope. There are 4 things that I did not circle in that starter kit, in the catalog, because they're for geriatrics and I don't need them yet. There's more than 600 products in the catalog. He said the only way that I could afford to get the oils was and afford to get on Essential Rewards, which is the most amazing program to get free oils every month, was if I taught a class. The trouble was that I was already anchoring news full-time at 4 o'clock in the morning and homeschooling 5 children during the day, and 3 of them were special needs kids. So how did I fit all that in? I mean, it felt really impossible. And I didn't know anything. Truly, I did not know anything when I got my starter kit. I told you, first time I used peppermint, I put 18 drops on my stomach. I had no idea what I was doing. So if I'm real with you, just 2 weeks earlier, I thought that all oils were fake, completely fake. How could a peppermint leaf, dissolve that occasional mild discomfort that was in my tummy? So one thing I did know was that I loved one ingredient things, because I had just come off a 24-year journey of healing my migraine headaches, which had led to brain bleeds, and I cured the entire thing with food. And maybe you guys don't know this about me, but I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor. So for me to be able to get in front of a live with 70,000 people really is a miracle every single time I turn my camera on. God is so good, and he's so faithful, because I was told that I would never be able to talk in front of people on a stage, and I was told that I would never, ever be able to do anything if I didn't have a script in front of me or have the words in front of me, because there was so much damage to my short-term memory from all of the brain bleeds that I had had. And you know what? So I'm a walking miracle sitting in front of you guys. I want to challenge you to not believe the word never, because I thought I was always going to live in the projects too, after 12 years of being there. And I thought that we were always going to be in survival mode too. And you know what? God's got a really good way of taking the word never and turning it for his glory. He just does. So here I am in front of 70,000 people, but I cured it with food. I totally got rid of those migraines because of food. I went from soda pop to water kefir that I was growing on my counter. I went from canned soup to bone broth, and I posted one of my favorite bone broth casseroles with no canned soup in it a couple weeks ago. You'll see me cooking a little bit on this page, even though it's not business, because I believe in the whole lifestyle, guys, not just grabbing an oil and, putting it on the mastoid bone behind my ear. I believe in everything. I believe in the whole package. I believe in one ingredient things. I believe in seed to seal. I carry that clean living lifestyle through everything that I do. So when you're on this page, you'll get a little business, you'll get a little cooking, you'll get a little talking to about your diet. Like, you're going to get a little bit of everything, because it really was part of my journey. I mean, clean living was before oils for me, and my diet changes were before oils. And I believe that you can't do what you're called and created to do if you're sick. You just can't. And so gut healing is a huge part of that. You cannot use oils to band-aid a lifestyle decision. It doesn't work that way. You're either going to take the whole thing and you're going to take little baby steps forward with what you can do at the time that you can do it, or you're going to continue living the lifestyle that you live. And your job as a business builder is to communicate that to every single person that you see, because you love them, because you care about them, and you don't want them to stay where they are. I'm so glad that I fought to not stay where I was with the brain bleeds and with poverty. Poverty over. No, I'm not believing that over myself ever, ever, ever again. And so I went from canned soup to bone broth, and from frozen foods to fermented foods. I'd love to do some fermenting classes on this page. It's so good for your gut. Stuff I was growing on my counter, and it changed my entire world. I went from the diagnosis of a stroke victim with irreparable brain damage to getting my life back. I went from 10 days a month writhing in my bed and monthly ER visits with migraine cocktails intravenously and having somebody have to drive me home and not being able to be a present mom, and medication every 2 hours for the rest of my life, to completely medication free. And January 18th will be 9 years since I have had a migraine headache. So, maybe you think that the diagnosis that's spoken over you is lifelong, but I'm here to say, to break the bondage of that over you, because nothing is lifelong unless you choose for it to be lifelong. I believe that with my entire heart. Gary Young is an even better story of this than me. The man was never supposed to walk again. He was never supposed to walk again. And he walked, right? He walked, and he went on to lead a multi-billion-dollar company that he developed from the ground up. So, if anything, if you learn anything about the American spirit through Young Living and through Gary, and maybe a little through my story, you've learned that you don't need to stay where you are. I'm reading you the intro to this next book, so forgive me. It's not Gameplan Bootcamp, but I had to share a little bit of it with you. And Tammy says, I no longer have migraines. That's awesome. So that's why we have a gut health class in the middle of a script book on Young Living, right? Because it's part of what we do, right? There's something to this one ingredient lifestyle. And so though I was cured of the brain bleeds before oils, it was before I got my starter kit, it did teach me to believe deeply in the power of food. And it taught me to believe deeply in the single ingredient plants that the Lord created. So if your health journey has brought you to this brand new book that I'm about to release, you are welcome in this space, no matter how little you think that you know. Because maybe the nuggets that I have gathered in this little book will bless you as you walk the exact same path, because we journey on this together, right? We're journeying on this together. Liz, I think that you can cure those migraines. It's just my thought. So before Young Living founder Gary Young passed away, I had the honor of traveling the world with him, with my kids. We were in Turkey, we were in Croatia together, we were in Greece together, we were in Hawaii together more than once, we were in Alaska together more than once, we were in Canada, we were in Idaho, we were in the Arctic Circle, we were in Utah together several times. So sitting with Gary, for me, it was like sitting with your grandpa. You were the only person that was in the room. And the one thing that he would repeat to me every single time that I saw him was his life mission, which is, Sarah, I want you to get oils in every home in the world. And I know he said that on stage many, many times in front of you guys too. And so this book is a gift to him, because Gary, I'm going to carry your torch. And if the Lord has given me a platform with 70,000 people on it and 4 million people that have used Gameplan, then I'm going to use that platform to bring oils to every home in the world. And this gift is this book is a contribution to that. So I started by writing a 3-page simple script called the 101 Oil Script. And it's the first script in the Gameplan script book. And I taught that class 288 times. And 2.5 years later, I hit the rank of diamond by sitting on a couch and reading that to other moms and empowering them to make better decisions for their family and just say, hey, you don't need to stay where you are, and you don't have to believe the things that you believe. And everything you've been taught about colds and flus is completely wrong. No, you don't need Gatorade. No, you don't need saltines. No, you don't need the brat diet. You definitely don't need canned processed soup. But instead, you can make some bone broth, and you can supplement with vitamin C, and you can put some oils in a diffuser, and you can do a little mini raindrop on your baby's back and make some, veggie capsules and give them that and hydrate them and do all the things that you do to support their body so the body can do its own fighting, right? Yeah, so that's the stuff that you're going to find in this script book. The 101 Oils class is the very first script that I wrote, and that is the script that got me to diamond. I wrote the Thieves script when I was like at gold, and I wrote Ningxia right before I hit diamond, and I just wrote CBD, and we're almost crowned diamond, and I'm not even done with the kids class yet, so all of those are new. But along the way, I researched and I wrote 74 other scripts. So you guys are getting almost 30 of them in this book, so that means there'll probably be another one of these things, and I have the honor of binding them and giving nearly 30 of them to you in this book. So these are the little tidbits that I've collected along my journey, and I know a lot of you guys are discouraged, you don't have a reference guide anymore, but why? I mean, honestly, most of what I learned was not really from that. It was from, I want to learn how to use Thieves. Well, what is Thieves? Where did it come from? I love all the stuff in the Thieves line. How can I use that and get rid of some of the stuff that's in my laundry room and get rid of some of the stuff that's under my counter? I mean, the less you know, actually, the better, because it puts you in a place where you're able to play. And so I started just staring blankly at these precious plant drops. And I went from that to seeing the miracles that God created. And Gary saw it, and now you get to experience it as I have. You're literally going to walk the same journey that I walked in gaining knowledge on how these oils work. And I still feel like I know maybe 1%. So for me to put a book out on this is kind of crazy, honestly, because I feel like I'm not an aroma chemist, so it's just what I've learned as a mom. And maybe that gives me a good voice to speak to you guys, because most of you are moms and you're coming from that place just like me. We don't have any medical background or chemistry background or any of that. So it's not that kind of a book. You don't learn oils by diagnosing disease. And if you're coming at it from that place, you're coming at it from the wrong place, because we don't have that kind of knowledge. I've never been to school for that, and you guys have never been to school at that. Instead, we learn by experimenting and playing and hearing stories and oiling up. So this is not a medical book. It's a how I learned to oil book. It's how I learned to use this, because when it comes down to it, I'm not a doctor and I'm never going to be, but I am an empowered mama who loves to make my own decisions and loves to protect the four walls of my homes. And so that's what I plan to teach in the space of that book. You don't need to be an expert to share oils with your friends. You don't need to know it all. You just have to believe in the lifestyle, and you have to be willing to learn as you go. That you do need to be willing. So that's the secret to the entire oils world. Actually, the fewer credentials that you have, the more credit than our great God gets for the work that he has done in making the plants, right? He gets all the glory for the stuff that he made. It has nothing. I didn't make the frankincense resin. I didn't grow it, or I don't even know how to grow it. But God knows how to grow it. And so he gets all the glory for all the things that happen when we use his plants. So I'm going to give you a call to action before this book even goes live. Because you're going to get excited to learn new things, and you're going to get to share your knowledge, and you're going to get to share it with your mama and your best friend and your sister and your coworker. And so my challenge when you get the script book in your hands is, may you carry on Gary's legacy of bringing oils into every home in the world. And so that's the cover letter for this book, with deep respect and love and a never-ending quest for knowledge, Sarah. I just read you guys the first page. And then we go to all the scripts, right? So we just spent 10 minutes, forgive me, showing you guys, oh boy, we got another cover here. Check this one out. Ooh, she just keeps throwing more and more on. We got roses and oranges and all sorts of things on the cover of it. I love it. I said I want lots of fresh plants, and all the things that are in the oils would be awesome. This is the newest book. I'm hoping to make it, the pre-sales go up on Friday when we finish Bootcamp. And now, without further ado, I'm going to work really hard to stay focused on the Bootcamp that we need to be doing tonight, right? There's so many cover designs and trying to trying to decide which one we're going to do is I'll probably put a vote up and let you guys decide honestly, because you're better at picking stuff like that than I am. But I need the books in Canada, please. I need to open a publishing house in Canada is what I need to do, and Malaysia and Australia. I have stood in all three of your countries. I've spoken. I love my Canadian friends and I love my Australian friends. I have almost a platinum team out in Australia. So I love you guys and I want to try to get stuff to you. It's just hard to open a publishing house and I don't even know how to write a book, right? Like, I'm a mom. That's crazy. Writing a book is crazy. But God, you know what I've learned in anything is that he loves to do big things with little people. He does. So if you are sharing this video with your teams, you can actually tell them to start at this time now so they don't get all of the talk about the book. I'm just super excited about it. And I pray that it's a blessing to you guys. When you train people, you empower them. And when you empower them, you will see OGV growth because they fall in love with the lifestyle. They're not just getting on and just ordering thieves cleaner. They're getting on and ordering all the things because they believe in the way that you live. And that is the secret to everything tonight. That's everything that we're going to study. So this actually was kind of a good open for night 2. His night 1 was your why. Why are you doing this? And a woman wrote me and said, one of the people on my team that had gone inactive just wrote me and said she watched the first night of boot camp and she's back in. And not only that, she's building because she saw the vision last night of the first night of boot camp. That's awesome. I want you to see the vision for yourself. The second thing that I hear from people is nobody's coming to class. I cannot get people to sit through classes. Classes don't work. Here's the thing, guys. 70% of all the diamonds in Young Living built with classes. So we had 10 new diamonds last month. It's crazy how many diamonds they're building with classes. So classes still work. And there's something about sitting next to a person and pouring out your heart and giving them your knowledge and empowering them to make good decisions. And then listening to where they are and being the need meter that is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's something that we've lost in our culture. We're so busy running around doing the things that we need to do and hitting our goals and focusing on our family that we've forgotten to pause and train the people around us in the things that we knew. If you lived in a colonial village in America, you had one person that was good as the cooper and one person that was good as the blacksmith, and you went to them and you acquired their knowledge and brought a little basket making back into your home, and elders trained the younger ones, and there were apprentices at 12, 13, 14 years old studying the trades. We've lost that. We're all out doing our own thing now. And so I love this model of sitting down and training what you know. And the script book is just an extension of that. Whether you are a product user or a business builder, this would be a wonderful resource that you can put in somebody's hands and say, listen, I don't have all the medical knowledge, but here's another way of learning how to use these things, and you're still going to be using your oils every single day without diagnosing and treating. You're going to learn to use it in the way that a non-doctor learns how to use oils, right? Which is all of us. It's all of us. That's how we've learned to use. We just swapped our stuff out and we played around, right? And it led us to something totally amazing. So, Game Plan Intensive. So what we're doing is 5 days on the most famous Young Living business book in the world. And this is night 2. We're covering chapter 7 to 11 tonight, and I'm just going to fly through them. It's meant to be just a quick 5-day intensive. You guys have asked me for a 5-day version of boot camp, and I am giving it to you. Because I want to empower you to be able to have your leaders stick with it and finish the boot camp. And you can do it however you want. If you want to read the book with your team and you're reading 5 chapters a day with them, that's great. If you want to do the reading after we wrap up boot camp, that's fine. If you want to post these videos next week into your team page, we're collecting them and putting them on my website under an intensive button so it's easy to find stuff. There's no wrong way of doing it. If you want to grab the Game Plan book, the second edition book off Amazon, and you want to grab the workbook and you want to take some time in the month of November and work through the workbook with your team, you're going to see OGV growth anytime you're training your leaders and giving them an overview of the business. This is the book that got me to Diamond. I mean, I had a 70,000 OGV growth the second time that I ran a boot camp of Game Plan with my team. And we've grown 160,000 since I started running Unstuck with my team. So we're going to be doing an Unstuck intensive coming up soon in a couple of weeks. So chapter 7 is Marketing 101. How do you even share oils? Chapter 8 is how to fill classes without knowing people. And that chapter in Game Plan is so famous. And I had so many people asking me questions on it when I went on a book tour with Game Plan that I wrote a whole book just on that one chapter. And that's how Unstuck was formed, because it was the number one thing that I heard from you guys is I just can't get people to the kit. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Chapter 9 is the anatomy of a successful class. So what does it look like? And then chapter 10 is how to follow up. I'm going to give you simple follow-up system and game plan, and then we really flesh it out and unstuck. So you want to be here for that intensive also. And then chapter 11 is dealing with difficult people. So our oil of the night is gathering. And I told you each night we have a theme. So last night's theme was why? Why are you even doing this? Tonight's theme is humans. So how to get them in front of you, how to lead a class with them, how to follow up, how to deal with difficult humans. And one of the best oils for humans is the oil gathering. And this blend is amazing. So here's your 30-second aromatherapy training tonight. This blend was created to help us overcome the bombardment of chaotic energy. Do you ever feel that way around your kids? I mean, come on, just shoot straight with me. Pretty much every day, right? The bombardment of chaotic energy that alters our focus, and it takes us off the path toward higher achievements, towards things that the Lord would have us do today, would do with our time. When we're partnered, when that oil is paired with frankincense, it's really good for helping us gather our emotions and helping us gather our spiritual thoughts. It increases oxygen around the pineal and pituitary glands, and it helps us with communication. Super important, right? Helps bring people together on a physical and an emotional and a spiritual level, which we just prayed last night. We prayed the Moses blessing together. If it's been 3 years since you prayed that prayer over yourself, go pray it. Go pray it again. We had some crazy financial blessing things happen today, like crazy things. And it was literally 12 hours after I prayed that prayer, like insane things happened to us. So pray it, right? Pray that stuff over yourself. It helps keep you focused, keeps you grounded, keeps you clear. Exodus 30:34 says, take unto thee sweet spices, stacte, onycha, and galbanum, and pure frankincense. So frankincense clears the mind, helps to overcome stress, helps to overcome despair when you feel like there's no way out. Sandalwood supports your nerves and your emotions. Rose, which is in this blend, helps to create a sense of balance and harmony and well-being. Those are all really good things when you are dealing with humans. Lavender helps to overcome nervous tension. You're just like, right? And it gives you a heightened ability to reason and to remember. Cinnamon has a frequency of wealth and abundance. And I can tell you some pretty crazy stories about oils and wealth and abundance, like weird stuff. Like, you're taking abundance oil and putting it on the doorknobs before you teach classes and having higher kit sales. Crazy stuff like that. Like, we actually charted it for a month on our team because I was curious. I was one of those things as a news anchor. I'm like, sure, I'll go swallow that Kool-Aid, right? But then we tracked it and we actually had higher sales. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what the science is behind it. I know it has something to do with the pheromones that you release and how you're perceived, but it's pretty crazy. So this oil has been used to release malice and spite. Spruce helps with emotional blocks. It's got a frequency of prosperity, so that's like 3 or 4 oils of prosperity, right? Geranium restores confidence and it relaxes you. You don't want to be tense when you're in front of people. People will pick up on that tension. Geranium helps to release negative memories. That one's really good on your navel, the temples, the back of the neck. You can put on your crown. Everybody thinks your crown's right on the top of your head, but it's actually, if you were to take a hat and slide it back a little bit, kind of back here, that's where the crown of the head is. And that helps with a negative attitude. You have any kids with negative attitudes? Gathering. I put some joy on my 4th born last night because he needed it. It's going to give you that feeling of coming together for a higher purpose. So gathering is our oil. Now let's talk humans for about 15, 20 minutes. So chapter 7, this is just highlights. So if you want more than highlights, go read the book, go do the workbook. You'll get a whole bunch more. You can get a whole lot if you go to the original Gameplan Bootcamp. That one, those videos are almost an hour long each night. So you can go click on some of those videos if you just feel like this is a topic you need to delve more into. You just go to oilabilityteam.com and you click on share and game plan and you'll see it up there. So chapter 7. And if you're just jumping in, this is an intensive, so we're going to move really fast. I'm just kind of picking some of the cherry picked top topics in the book. And it's only 5 days long, so we'll be done on Friday, but it's okay because you can go back and you can read it slower and you can do some deeper level training on things. If you really want to kick in the tush, get the workbook. My workbooks always really run you through the ringer and they're going to get you thinking about what you're doing and how you're spending your time and if it's worth it for you to be putting your resources and gifts and talents into something that isn't going to be moving you forward. It's going to tailor all this training and game plan directly to you. So chapter 7 is marketing. 101, and it's how do you share oils. Have you guys, I know we got a lot of new people on this page. We've got probably 20, 30,000 new people since the first time that I did Game Plan. So I don't know if you've actually flipped open the book and just looked at the inside of it to see what's in it. You know, why do the business? A quick start training guide. What are the 6 mistakes stagnant business builders make? We did that yesterday. Overcoming excuses. A detailed tour of the VO. A marketing 101, which is doing tonight. How to share oils. How to fill classes without knowing people. Anatomy of a successful class. This is what you're putting in your new builder's hands. Following up, dealing with difficult people. Nobody's coming. What do I do? How am I confident when I don't really know what I'm talking about? Your business toolkit. Growing your business online, staying legal, some comprehensive FDA training, the Young Living Comp Plan in layman's terms, and a strategy guide on where to sign new oilers. So we're going to do some silver bond training this week. The key to reaching and maintaining rank, balance, boundaries, and treating your business as a business. You have any of your leaders that aren't consistent? They need to do this boot camp. Attracting and motivating leaders to your team, how to pray over your business, avoiding distractions, encouragement for the climb, and then just some cheat sheets and things to keep you focused. So Game Plan is just it's an amazing tool. It's an amazing resource for your builders. So, truth about multi-level marketing. There is a video that I just love sharing with people. It's on YouTube, so I'm going to take you guys right over to YouTube because this is like the big thing that I hear from people is, oh, I can't do it because it's a pyramid scheme. So pyramid scheme, and it's with let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Watch this for just a second because this is like the biggest thing I hear is, well, I don't want to do one of those network marketing things. All right, let me flick it. Melissa Hareen's on. Girl, your TikTok videos are killing me lately. I'm dying laughing. All right, watch this if you think that we're in a pyramid scheme.
I have decided that my job sucks, the economy sucks, and the only way things are going to get better is if I do something about it.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to build a network marketing business.
What is network marketing?
A network marketing company allows you to build your own business by creating a group of distributors and customers that consume the products sold by the company.
That sounds like one of those pyramid things.
What do you mean by pyramid things?
One of those things where the only people that make lots of money are the people at the top.
You mean like the company you work for?
But don't you have to get in early to make any money?
Actually, in a good network marketing company, you can make more money than the people above you if you are more productive.
Are you sure it isn't a pyramid scheme?
Yes.
How are you so sure?
A pyramid scheme is where you make all of your money by recruiting others and there is no product or service being exchanged.
It still sounds like a pyramid scheme.
In a legitimate network marketing company, you make most or all of your money from people using the products.
It still sounds like a pyramid scheme.
In what way?
Because when you draw it out, it looks like a pyramid.
How is that relevant?
It just seems like a pyramid scheme.
If you were to draw out the organization chart of the company you work for, what shape would it be?
A pyramid.
If you were to draw out the organization chart of the church you go to, what shape would it be?
A pyramid.
If you were to draw out the organization chart of the Girl Scouts, what shape would it be?
A pyramid.
Are you understanding my point?
Yes. I had no idea there were so many pyramid schemes out there. Do you really think you can make money with your pyramid scheme?
According to the U.S. Department of Labor and the Direct Selling Association, with the same time and effort, I'm 5 times more likely to earn over $100,000 in network marketing than at my life-sucking job.
Yes. I hate my job too. That is why I play the lotto every day after work. 16, 22, 84 baby.
Maybe you should start your own business also instead of completely leaving your future to chance.
But I have heard people say negative things about network marketing.
Like who?
Like my brother-in-law.
Is he wealthy?
No.
Does he own his own business?
No.
Would you consider him a credible expert on the subject?
No.
Would you consider him a credible expert on any subject?
Not really. But why do some people say network marketing doesn't work?
For the same reason that some people think our government's social security program is sustainable. Total ignorance.
Are there any credible experts that support network marketing?
Have you heard of Robert Kiyosaki, the author of one of the top-selling financial books of all time?
No.
He is a big supporter of network marketing. He calls it the perfect business. Have you heard of Donald Trump?
Yes, he has funny hair.
He is also a big supporter of network marketing. Have you heard of Warren Buffett, the most successful investor of all time?
No.
He is also a supporter of network marketing.
And you think these people are more credible experts than my brother-in-law?
Yes.
I still think it sounds like a pyramid scheme.
Are you kidding me? Have you been listening to anything that I have said?
Yes, but I still think it is a pyramid scheme.
Can you please explain your argument?
I just think it is a pyramid scheme.
I think I'm going to leave now.
Wait. Aren't you going to try to recruit me?
No.
Why not?
I thought you said it was a pyramid scheme.
I did, but I think I want to join now.
I would rather shove thumbtacks into my eyes and walk into traffic than have an incompetent moron like you on my team.
Oh. Okay. Talk to you later then.
Not likely.
So there you have it, right? Whenever anybody comes to me and says, oh yeah, you're one of those pyramid schemes, I'm like, oh yeah, a $2.5 billion pyramid scheme with 7 million people involved in it that somehow miraculously flew under the radar of the government for 26 years. Like, that's the pyramid scheme I'm part of, right? No, actually, it's a life-changing business that doesn't have the same overhead as a regular business with a brick and mortar store and all of the employee costs and insurance and lights and all of the things that they have to cover and stock and ship and all of that just goes from the farm to your house. Pretty awesome. Like, cut out the middle guy, right? Super easy. So yes, I'm going to post that video for you guys so that you have access to it. It's not something that I made, but I thought it was just so well done that I've used it whenever anybody comes to me, because I'm like, yeah, hello. No, what we do is absolutely not a pyramid scheme. It's a very viable business model with a very successful company that has been doing this for over 2 decades. And most network marketing companies will fail within 7 years. We're almost 4 times that in Young Living. We've been around. So it's awesome. I know the company we work for is the best of the best of the best. And God is so good to have brought this company to me when I had no network marketing knowledge and no sales or marketing background at all. And he put me in the very best company that I could possibly be in, right? So the truth about network marketing is that it's amazing and it's absolutely not illegal, and it's an incredible way to earn extra income, especially if you're a mama. I look at the Proverbs 31 woman who brings honor and glory to her husband by going out and rising before the sun and working, right? She sells purple cloth and all the things that she does. She's bringing extra income streams into the home, and to me, that's very honoring to your husband. So yeah, I'm a huge supporter of network marketing because it's completely changed our life, totally changed our life. So I'm very proud to be an entrepreneur, and I'm so glad that Gary set it up this way because, guys, he didn't have to. He could have set it up like a retail storefront, and him and Mary could have pocketed all of the income, but they didn't. They gave the profits to us, right? He wanted to see our lives changed too. And that's one of the blessings of a network marketing model is that, it's not just going directly back into corporate. It's not just going to the young family. It's going to us. We get paid to tell our friends and family about something we already would tell our friends and family about. Right? Like, we would already tell them about it. I would have done it anyway, even if the Young Living didn't pay me, because I love the oils. So what a blessing it is that Gary set the business up this way, that it takes care of you and your family and your babies and can get willed and like all the things we talked about yesterday. It's absolutely incredible. I'm proud to be an entrepreneur, and I'm definitely proud to be a network marketer. And now your task is to change the face of network marketing in the United States and around the world so the people see what we see. and what a blessing it is. So you're not selling oils, you're educating people. It really comes down to training and education, which is why I'm releasing a script book. It's with scripts in it for learning about oils, but also business, right? Because that's kind of where my heart is. I mean, it started with understanding the oils and what they did and using them on my family, and then seeing my friends using the oils, and I got really excited about that. But then I started seeing people rank up. And I started seeing my mama rank up, and my sister rank up, and my sister-in-law rank up, and then dozens of people retire on our team. And that, for me, that was it. Like, I am so excited about the oils and what the Lord has created, but I'm so more excited about the freedom that it generates when you do the things that actually grow your business. All right. And so tonight our focus is on humans. And if you've learned anything from me talking about any of these books, you don't need to be an expert. It's actually better if you're not. You're just empowering people to do their own research, and you're leading them to the right resources. So I just love saying, I don't know the answer to that. But here's where you can start your research. Here's a place you can, look into a little bit more. Here's a good book to read. Here's a good website to look into. So what happens when you use tools? I'm a generator of tools, right? I believe very deeply in, this is our little prospecting tool, is the Gameplan Mini, and the Diamond Rising deck, our little tracking tool, and Fearless is our little follow-up tool, and Gameplan is a little business training tool, Unstuck is a business training tool. Now the script book is going to be for product users and business builders. It'll be for both of them. You can use it for either. And so why do I believe in tools? Because you're training your new oilers and your new business builders that they don't have to have all the answers. You just funnel them to the tool, and you let the tool do the talking for you, which gives you credibility. It backs you up, and it's duplicatable. Relationships will open more doors than any title. So if you have no-show classes, you know what the answer is to that. You haven't built that foundation of relationship. And we're going to hit that super hard when we do Unstuck Bootcamp the second week of November. So release yourself from the pressure of having to be perfect. That's all I have to say about chapter 7. So chapter 8, marketing, how to fill classes without knowing people. The whole secret is in paragraph 2 of this chapter. So let me get to paragraph 2. If you guys are in the book, you can follow along. Let's see here. When I first began my business, I put a post up on my Facebook page, and 47 women showed up at my house. No joke. This was not the first class that I taught, but it was a couple classes in. And then I did it again, and I got about 20. And by the 5th class, I was out of friends, and my classes were dwindling. So I asked a good friend who was a naturopath doctor if she would host a class for me. And she had 60 women show up in a church gym. And that worked out really well until that circle of people started to dwindle too. And so it was then that I realized that everybody has an end to their really close circle of friends. So what do you do, right? What do you do? Yeah, Daniel says when people don't understand, they react negatively. Exactly. Yeah, Daniel, you are so spot on. So what did I do when I started running out of people? I found more friends, right? And those friends had people, and those friends had people. What if you made it your goal that every person that was on your team that was on Essential Rewards didn't pay for their order ever again? And it's not because you're paying for their order, and it's not because they're paying for their order. It's because they're building their business, and they're teaching classes, and they're doing the things that grow their OGV, maybe just enough so they get just enough of a paycheck with Young Living so that they don't have to pay for their ER order. Like, what would that look like? Well, let me show you, because it's exactly how I built my business. When John and I hit Diamond, we went back and looked at what we did. And month 1, which was July of 2014, it was 2 weeks after I got my starter kit, I had 7 people on my team. I was one of them, and then I had 6 more. And those were my friends. That was my warm market. Those are the people I was close to. And my OGV was 1,000. Then I talked to those 7 people, and I asked them if I could come teach to their mamas and their best friends. And that 7, 4 classes later, led to 27 people. And my OGV was 2,300, and we hit Senior Star. And that was 4 weeks into my business. Now, 8 weeks in, month 3, I talked to the 27 people, try to help them get their orders for free by teaching classes for them, having their friends sign up underneath them. And we took that number 27 to 63 people. This was 8 weeks into my business, and my OGV went to 6,200, and we were an executive in 1. And then 4 months, so this would be 12 weeks into my business, I talked to these 63 people, And they brought 1 or 2 people with, and we ended up with 118 on the team 4 more classes later. And my OGV went to 14,739. And that was the month that I hit silver, which was 12 weeks into my business. So that is the power of Friends of Friends. And I'm not going to do a lot of training on this because we hit it very hard in Unstuck in a couple of weeks. But let me just give you a quick little demo of what that looks like. So what if you had 9 people on your team? And you were committed that all 9 that were on ER, you were going to teach the core 4 classes. So 101 oils, and now it's the core 5 because we have the kids class also. So 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD, 105 the kids class, because those were our starter kits. So what if those 9 people, you taught all 4 of those classes to, and they were really excited. All right, and this is what I find is you teach an oils class, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend 100 PV, on my oils, because I got all these ideas to use for oils. What if you were to take a game plan script book and put it in their hands, and now they have literally 1,000 ideas for their oils? Get like, what, right? OGV increase. And so what if you taught the core 4 classes to them, and then you teach thieves class, and they're like, oh, I got to go swap all my thieves stuff out. Have to do it. Absolutely have to do it. And so now they're spending 150 PV or maybe the 190. And then you go teach a Ningxia class to them. And they're like, oh yeah, now I totally need to order Ningxia. I can't really afford it for my kids right now, but I can afford it for me and my husband. So maybe their order goes to 200. Or it goes to 250. Then you go teach a CBD class, and they're like, dude, all right, now I need all the oils. Now I'm looking like Sarah Harnish, where she circled everything in the catalog, right? That's totally me. But now you have a window. You have a doorway. You have an opening. When you just taught the 101 class, they were like, yeah, I really like this stuff. It's pretty cool. But now they need it. Right now they need thieves, and they need Ningxia, and they feel convicted on it, and they want to get in their house, and they really want to continue with CBD, and not just one, but a couple of the CBD products. And the kids' classes have convicted them. Now you have a window for them to invite because they have a personal investment in wanting to invite because they want to use the products because you have trained the lifestyle. So what I see is when somebody has a 101 class, they spend a certain amount, but once you get them in a 102 and a 103 and a 104 and a 105 class, that dollar amount goes up as they're building these wish lists, which we will have built right into the script book, wish lists of what they can get. They're building these wish lists of what they want to order on Essential Rewards. And so now you have a space where you can go to them and say, hey, do you want me to teach your mom about this stuff? Because if we have a few people sign up underneath you, Young Living is going to send you a paycheck. And you can take that and put it toward your order. So maybe this will really be a blessing to you. They're going to invite because they have a personal reason to invite. It's not just to bless you or to take care of your business. It's so their babies can have Ningxia because they see the value of Ningxia because you have trained them and you've educated them. So say you have 9 people on your team. And if you get about 15 people signed under each of those 9, you'll be getting a check, depending on how much they're ordering. It's probably about $300 a month, right? And so your goal is, they're not necessarily business builders, but they want to be able to get product for free. So say that you teach until they have 15 people underneath them that are on Essential Rewards. You just keep teaching. 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 Ningxia, 104 CBD, 105 kids class, 101 oils, 102 thieves, 103 Ningxia, 10. You just keep doing it until you have 15 people under them. All right, and then all of a sudden you notice there's 135 people on that leg, and all you're trying to do is help that mama afford the Ningxia for her baby. That's it. This is a concept called Friends of Friends, right? And so how do I combat? It's too expensive. You get people under them. That's how you do it. If they're getting a little bit of a paycheck, Daniel, they get excited about it and they're willing to invite more people. So 1 or 2 classes, they're getting something coming in that is going to defray the cost of what they have to place for their order. So yeah, they don't see it because you haven't gotten them to the paycheck yet. You got to get them to the paycheck to get them to see it. So now they have 135 people on their team, and those people have had the core 4 classes, so they're spending 300 PV. That leg is at 40,000. That's a gold volume leg, because you taught the core 4. I'm not out there teaching oils of the Bible. I'm not out there teaching oils and emotions and all the things. I'm just teaching the main products that we have. And they're excited about it because you have trained them in the lifestyle. So that's Friends of Friends math. You make it your goal that they never pay for their order ever again. It is a sharing business. You're not in it just for you and just to grow your OGV and just for you to hit rank. You're in it to bless them. You're in it to take care of them. Yeah, it's the basics. It's just helping people get their product for free. So you're going to end up with a bunch of little pods of people, 15, 15, 15, 15. It doesn't matter if they're not building the business. You just need an audience, right? Isn't that your issue, is that you need people to talk to about oils, but maybe the one friend that you have isn't going to do much with the business, but maybe her friend will, right? That's how I built To Silver so quickly, was sitting down and tapping into friends of friends of friends of friends. How do I teach them friends of friends? I just teach the core 4 classes, and we have a little slide at the end of each of the core 4 classes on my page that says, hey, if you want to learn how to get your product for free, if you want to learn how to get your starter kit paid for, talk to me about friends of friends after the class. And that's how that works. It's just a sentence. You just drop a sentence in your classes. There's not a whole training on it. There's not a whole class on it. You just tease it. You're funneling to the tool, right? And the tool is the core 4 classes and getting them excited. And then of their own volition, they will invite, not because they're doing it for you, but because they're doing it for their family. Right? And that's a totally different reason. And that is how you fill classes without knowing people, right? That's how you fill classes. So it's pretty awesome. And my sister Rachel did this. My sister Rachel is almost a gold in Young Living, and I wanted to read you her story, and then we're going to get close to wrapping up here because I'm getting close to time. So if you have the book, the PowerPoints are all up on my website, oilabilityteam.com, under share, and they're free. They don't cost you anything. It's just free resources we put together for Team Young Living. So if you're following along, that's my sister with Gary Young. She's amazing. I love her so much. And so this is just some encouragement from Rachel. She said, I held 11 classes. By the way, I wrote Unstuck because of her. This happened after this, but before she held these classes, she'd had 103 no-show classes. And so Unstuck was a labor of love for my sister to help her get to the classes. But she says, I held 11 classes in the first 3 weeks of my distributorship. I was so excited to build a team like Sarah's after spending several days with her on the Gold Retreat at the St. Mary's Farm in Idaho. Unfortunately, I didn't feel very networked in New York, and I didn't understand how to fill classes with people outside my circle. Since moving here from Illinois 7 years ago, I'd either worked 70 plus hours a week as a salaried manager at Walmart, or I've been working 40 hours a week at the credit union and 30 hours a week at Walmart and as a cake decorator, and I was taking 2 to 8 cake orders a week. That's 3 jobs, guys. I know I'm speaking to somebody on this live right now. I had very little free time to build a personal network. Of the first 11 classes that I held, I had 5 attendees, and 4 classes had 1 or 2 attendees, and 5 were no-shows. But rather than giving up, I changed my tactics. At the credit union where I worked, I began meeting with coworkers one-on-one during my lunch breaks to build my team. What is she doing? She's teaching Core 4 classes individually to get them fired up so that the window is open, so they want products for their family, so they open their friend circles, so you have an audience and you can build pods of product users around your team. It's the concept of friends of friends. So I did that from August until January, when I used Sarah's method for filling classes. I ranked as executive in February, and I'm working to reach silver this month. I'm really excited to say she passed silver, she passed gold, and now she's almost got the OGV of a platinum. My sister is rocking it. I'm teaching classes nearly every weekend now because I ask previous attendees or leaders on my team to invite to them, and then I give them an oily gift or a basket, or sign people under their sponsor number if they're spending 100 PV. Network marketing is like any other business. If you stick with it and if you're adaptable, you will be successful. Rachel with Young Living founder D. Gary Young. See? So that's the concept of friends of friends. And it's pretty amazing. The other thing I would tell you is listen to your warm market. Be willing to travel. If you got a friend that's an hour away, go be where they are. Teach online classes. Many of you guys have asked, well, how do I do this in a pandemic? Guys, how do I run my business in a pandemic? I'm teaching like 3-4 Zoom classes in the space of 1 in-person class. And I'm still growing. Our OGV has grown so much since the month of March last year because I'm getting on Zoom and I'm teaching the Core 4 classes. And the nice thing is you can just share the PowerPoint and they can see it. No problem at all, right? No problem at all. So market the classes, make sure you're closing strong. We have closing scripts built right into the PowerPoints. I showed you guys those PowerPoints last night. So just oilabilityteam.com and then share. Vendor events are hard right now, but Zoom calls are not hard right now. So just make sure that you're doing it, right? Make sure that you're out there and you're connecting with people and you're getting your pre-existing team excited. What would happen if all you did in the next 30 days was took the Core 4 classes that are already on the website that are free and just taught them to every person on your team? I mean, if you have 30 people on your team, you have 120 classes you have to teach. I just gave you a whole lot of homework, right? But what would happen? They would get excited about Ningxia and thieves and oils. They would get excited about all the things. Yeah, the work is done for you. Just download the PowerPoint and read it. You can have that PowerPoint on a tablet or a laptop in 40 seconds if you're sitting in a Starbucks and you meet somebody super cool. So very, very, very easy. Then the last part of this chapter on how to talk to people you don't know is just listening to their needs, being quiet and listening to them. And I tell the story of Joy at Nordstrom, and I can hold up the picture of her. Amazing woman, just said she was stressed out, and all I did was offer her some of my stress away roll-on, and you see she got all the cashiers at Nordstrom to gather around me, and ended up having a whole bunch of starter kit sales from that because I just listened to her. Just listen. So half the battle is just listening. And I do a whole bunch of role playing in this chapter. In the second edition, I went through and rewrote the whole back of it, and just, showed you this is how I talk to a random TSA agent in the airport. This is how I talk to a Walmart employee. This is how I talk to the waitress at the restaurant that came up to me. Like, this is how you can talk to your cold market. But you also can tap into friends of friends and build your business that way, starting with 10 or 20 people that you know and branching out from their friend circles and helping them get their product for free. So it absolutely works. Absolutely works. So lots of tips in how to fill classes without knowing people. I pull some of Eric Worre's training. I think he's a phenomenal trainer into it. And just show you what, exactly the words to use and how you talk to people you don't know. So chapter 9 is the anatomy of a successful class. And there's a lot of things I could teach you on this, but basically script, kit, human, repeat. Script, kit, human, repeat. I mean, when you put the words in front of a leader, you empower them. You get them excited, and they don't feel like they have to think of all the things that they need to say. And scripts are very powerful. I mean, the top network marketers in the world all use scripts. Your Eric Worre's, your Tony Robbins, your Danny Johnson's, like, they all use scripts, and they run multi-million-dollar network marketing businesses. So I don't know about you guys, but if I'm a mama and I'm coming into this and I'm a star, senior star, I'm going to follow what people who've gone before me that have been really successful have done. And you want to be able to duplicate. So if you hand somebody a catalog and say, well, just talk about the oils, or just share your story. Okay, well, they share their story for 3-4 minutes, and then they got 6 women sitting in front of them, and now what do? But if you put a script in front of them, you just empowered them. You've given them the words, which is why I believe so strongly in them. How often do I contact my team members? It depends how excited they are. The Core 4, I'll do a Core 4 class. I teach them every single week. So I might be teaching, if a person's really excited, I'll do an oils class 1 week, and 7 days later do thieves, and 7 days later do Ningxia. But I like to give them an opportunity to fill out the scavenger hunt calendars, which helps them use everything that's in that kit. So I try to space them a month apart. But if they're really excited, why? They're going to open up their friend circles, and it's going to help you build your business, going to help you hit certain OGV in different legs. So if they're excited, put them in the classes ready, as early as they're able to. So what's the anatomy of a successful class? You share your story. You read the script, you pass around the starter kit, you make sure that you're getting their contact information. And the way that I do that is with my Diamond Rising deck cards. So these are my website. They're awesome because they ask all the right questions so that you have it later on. What do they want to learn? Are they already a Young Living member? How do you contact them? What classes have they already had? Like, it goes through all the things, and it basically tracks where you left off with all of the people on your team. Then I give them resources, and I show them how to order the kit, and I invite them to the next class. So I give them homework, and there's so many different types of classes and so many different ways you can do this, from lunch and learns where you're teaching over lunch, the couch class, one-on-one, speed oiling, make and takes, so many different ways. I went through 16 different styles of classes. I did over 8,000 interviews for Unstuck and compiled all that stuff into one place so that you knew how people out there are teaching classes. But for me, I just sat next to another person and I shared my heart and I read the script, and they smelled the oils and they got the kit. So chapter 10 is how to follow up, and it's super easy to follow up, super easy. As soon as the class ends, I hand them the Fearless book, and then I print off the challenge calendar, and I have them do the 30-day scavenger hunt calendar. So if you have not been to my website and you have not done Gameplan anytime recently, a whole lot has changed on my website. So let me just flip my camera around and show you what I use. So the number one book that I give people is Fearless. which is, there's a whole page just for Fearless on my website, but it's basically a clean living lifestyle training book. So it goes through and really trains them everything that they need to know on, why oiling matters, why clean living matters, why the journey matters, why it's important, we train them on everything. And then there's a challenge calendar that I give them that breaks down the starter kit so it's not collecting dust in their closet. We want them using everything because then they're going to reorder, right? So if you go to the 101 oils class on my website, everything oils is on this page. You scroll down and you got a PowerPoint. You can download that in a couple seconds. There's a whole demo of the class. The script, I gave you the script, guys. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Just print it off. I gave you textable class. So I send a textable class right after I do the class because 67 million Americans listen to podcasts every single day. If you bring that class to their phone, the retention rate goes much higher. So I give it to them after the class is over, and then I give them the calendar, and I send them on a scavenger hunt through their kit. I say, here's how you get your kit. Let's get it together. And then I'm going to send you this link for the calendar, print it off, put it on your fridge. As soon as your kit arrives, I want you to accept the challenges, cross them all off, go on that scavenger hunt through the kit, and then send me a screenshot when you got them all checked off, and I will give you $25 toward your second Essential Rewards order because I believe in you and I believe in this lifestyle. And this is so blessed my family. And then there's some graphics on the page also. So everything you need for an oils class is right here. So as soon as class is over, I send them a textable class, I send them the calendar, and I get on with them and I have them order their kit with them. And then as soon as the kit shows up, I challenge them to fill out the calendar. It is so easy to use. And I put Fearless in their hands so that they understand the lifestyle. I mean, guys, you can train the starter kit till you're blue in the face. There's so many starter kit graphics and flyers and things out there that are really nice and really well done. But if you don't train the lifestyle, why are you training on a starter kit they already have? Right? You need to train what the next thing is. What's the next order? Have they built a 3-month ER wish list? Have they had a thieves class so they're interested in ordering things outside of the starter kit, right? You should always be looking to the next thing for them, not the thing they already have, not the thing that they've already ordered. So training on the starter kit is awesome, but I believe in training the lifestyle because then you have a lifelong oiler. And you don't have to hold their hand. They're gonna do it on their own. So everything that you need is on this page, and that's how I do follow up. I put Fearless in their hands, and I point them to the oils class. We do the oils class. I give them the textable class. I give them the calendar. Wait for their kit to arrive. Get them into the thieves class, and the thieves class has the exact same things. On the page, there's a PowerPoint. You teach a class. There's a demo of it. There is an entire thieves script as well, textable class, and a challenge calendar, just like the oils calendar, and then some graphics to market your class. So everything that you need is all on the same page. So let me see if somebody else, let's see, challenge calendar font is hard to read. Can it be put on the website in a Word version so we can change the font? Absolutely. Yeah, we could do that. Do you prefer to hand a new member Fearless or the mini game plan? Honestly, Mary, I do both. Because I don't know who needs the business opportunity. And so I've had people pop that I had no idea needed the hope of the business. I didn't know. So yeah, exactly. Assessment drives instruction, needs and wants order. Exactly. So that's my follow-up system. And when you have a system in place and you are duplicating that throughout your team, it's crazy what happens, okay, as you're building your business. Like person one is somebody with no consistency, no regular class schedule, no follow-up system. They're not sending a calendar, sending a book, checking in, funneling them to the core four and making sure they get all the training and tracking it on Diamond Rising deck cards. Person two, teaching consistently a class a week, tracking, knowing who's had what classes. That's the power of consistency and consistent OGV growth, right? When you're getting out there and you are setting a goal for your business and you dedicate time to that goal and you don't stop. So the last thing I want to tell you really quickly, and then we're going to wrap up for tonight. And we got 3 more days, and then we're all done. And then I get to launch the script book, which is super exciting. I know you guys are asking a lot of amazing questions, but I'm going over on time, so I'll go back and I'll type out some answers to your questions. I don't want you to feel like you're getting ignored. But dealing with difficult people, what do you do when people say no to you? What do you say when they just want one oil? I just tell them, well, just the frankincense and the panaway are worth the value of the entire kit. So I'd rather have 12 oils and a diffuser and Ningxia and thieves than basically just paying for frankincense and panaway, right? Don't enable them. educate them. People that don't want a wholesale account, I talk about them getting $412 worth of oils for $165. That's a really good deal. I mean, I'm a frugal mom and I don't want to spend a lot on things, and that gives me a wholesale discount, so I get a discount off of my oils for life, which is huge. Negative people. All right, I'm going to throw Matthew 10:12 at you. What do I give people that don't like to read? I send them the podcast. I send them the textable class and have them listen to it on their cell phone. And I give them the challenge calendar because it's going to take them on a scavenger hunt through their kit. So that's what I put in their hands. Matthew 10:14 says, if anyone will not welcome you or listen to their words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off of your feet. So you're going to have people that just don't get it. They just don't understand clean living. They're out there eating fast food 5 days a week. They're poisoning their body. They're poisoning their kids. They don't understand. And that's okay. You know, you can continue seed dropping into them if they're people that you absolutely love, but don't waste your time, energy, effort, and get exhausted and think network marketing doesn't work, because there are people out there that are like you, that do care, that are trying to do better for their families, you know. And I know that you desperately want your mamas and your best friends and your sisters, you know, on your team, but just recognize that because they say no now does not mean that they're going to say no forever. You know, they might see the changes in your family, and they might see, you know, the blessings that this business has been to you. And it may not be immediately, and it's okay, but you have to emotionally detach yourself from the sale of the starter kit and move forward, whether they see it or not, right? So here's the secret to handling negativity. And I'm just going to shoot straight with you. I mean, my identity is not as a news anchor. My identity is not as a mom. It's not as a young living diamond. My identity is in Christ. And if my eyes stay focused on him, then all else fades away and it doesn't really matter. I don't have to search for hope and meaning because I already have it through Jesus's death on the cross, right? I already have it for the things that he's done. So if my identity isn't in all of these things, then it doesn't matter whether they say yes or no. I'm trying to empower them and educate them and love on them. But if they say no, it's okay. Just keep moving forward and look at those other 120 classes you got to teach us next month, right? So tomorrow night, we're going to focus on chapter 12, and we're going to move to the next thing. Nobody's coming to class. Now what do I do? And we're going to hit another 5 chapters. So your homework is to read the chapters we just covered, so 7 to 11. And to do the worksheets as you're able. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get it all done. I know we're moving really quickly, and it's okay. You're doing a great job. So I'm going to do my 30-second business questions here at the end, and then release you guys, and we'll pop back on tomorrow night at 8:30. And hopefully I don't crash my page so I can get right on and I can use Zoom so that everything looks really good instead of my cell phone. So Heather is great. You're one of my winners. You get a free signed game plan book. Just email me at oilabilitywithsarah@gmail.com. She says, my struggle is just trying to get others on board. I get a lot of friends who support me, but I just can't get them to be part of this company, this wonderful company, these awesome people. I want others to care about their wellness. It's so tough for me. I've listened to this book so many times, and I just struggle with doing the classes too. Here's the thing. You just got to get them to their wow moment, Heather. Like they need, one vitality capsule and go, whoa, or one topical oil and go, huh? What was that? Like you got to get them to that wow where they say, okay, all right, I see this. I see what I don't totally understand it or get it, but I see it. And part of that is just relationship. It's listening to them, being patient with them, seed dropping with them, getting them in the core 4 classes, getting them excited, loving on them, and building that relationship. And some people will get it really quickly, and some people don't get it quickly, and that's okay. It's all right. All right, you just keep moving forward and dropping seeds on them. So Debbie says, Debbie Doe Ridout, winner number 2, she says, it's been a difficult year for everyone. How do you do online classes and get people to listen? I do Zooms because I found that I could teach about 3 of them in the span of one in-person class. So I do it exactly the same way. I download the PowerPoint, share my screen, get 2 or 3 people on, have them invite a couple of friends, maybe give them an incentive for inviting a couple of friends. And then I read the PowerPoint, share my story, and then I get off and I get on with them one-on-one, and I fill out a contact me card from the Diamond Rising deck, and I show them in person on the Zoom just with them how to order their starter kit. And I give them the textable class in the calendar, send them Fearless, and check in with them to get them funneled into the 102 class. And so maybe they haven't ordered their kit yet by the time it's time for them to get into the Thieves class. And I just say, hey, girl, I totally dropped the ball and I haven't gotten you in the Thieves class yet. And I'm so sorry. So let's go do that. What is your schedule free? Let me teach you about some of these amazing plants that God has created. It's just awesome. So you're not saying, got your kit, got your kit, got your kit. You're just funneling them to the next education, to the next training. So you're not sounding like you are a salesperson. Different ways to get people to classes. Rose Leeper, Leeper, you're my last winner tonight, winner number 3. Different ways to get people to classes and how to help people understand essential rewards. I built ER into the PowerPoint, so it's really easy for them to understand ER because you're just reading the script, you're just reading the PowerPoint because it's built right in. But the ways to get people to classes is by listening to their needs. Listen to their needs. Be the need meter. Stop talking. Listen to them. Ask a leading question, stand down, and listen to their needs. And we'll hit on this a little bit more later in the week, and definitely with Unstuck too. If you're listening to a mama and she says, man, my whole house has been down with a cold for like 2 days now, I'm exhausted, say, girl, I think this might be the answer that you're looking for. I know part of your protocol is doing bone broth and doing your vitamin C, and I want you to continue with that stuff, but do you want me to run my diffuser by it? I mean, maybe this is the answer you've been looking for. You could do that alongside the other things that you're doing also. It's hearing the needs of the people around you and then responding to those needs. All right. How do I advertise I'm going to have a class? I don't really advertise. I talk to one person. I get them excited. I build a relationship. They invite. They get psyched because of the things that they have seen with the oil. So that's going to wrap up our boot camp day number 2 tonight. Tomorrow we will go shorter, I promise. I'll go much, much faster. We're going to cover 5 or 6 chapters tomorrow night. It's day 3 of 5, and then we are done Friday. We are like in and out. We're collecting the videos, putting them up on my website so that you have access to them. And I love you guys so much. I believe in you. I know you can do this. I know you can build this business. You just got to pause and listen to the humans. It's all about humans. Get that oil all over you, and get out there and just listen to their needs, because that's what it takes to build this thing, is empowering, educating, and listening. That's how you build. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.